Have you been doing all the right things to attract abundance? Saying the affirmations, visualizing, staying grateful, and still feel like money, success, and support just aren't flowing? If that's you, leave a comment below and say, "I'm ready to receive." Because the truth is, there's one thing you might still be doing without realizing it that's repelling the very abundance you've been trying to call in. And it's not your fault. But once you stop doing this, the shift begins. And today, that shift starts right here. Why you're trying so hard and still feeling stuck. You've worked for it, prayed over it, tried to manifest it. You've said the affirmations, lit the candles, and whispered to the universe with hope in your voice, but a knot in your stomach. You've made the vision boards. You've journaled what you're grateful for. You've read the books, taken the courses, and told yourself over and over again, "I'm doing everything right, so why isn't anything shifting?" You're not alone in that question. So many women, especially those with big hearts and beautiful intentions, reach this point, where they've done the work but abundance still feels like it's hovering just outside their reach. They see friends making progress, people online celebrating their wins, others talking about manifesting miracles with ease. And inside, the quiet ache forms. Why not me? Am I doing something wrong? Is there something I'm missing, or worse, something wrong with me? Story: the case of the spiritually tired woman. There was a woman who had done all the right things. She tithed, she visualized, she was kind and generous, even when she had very little. She followed every prosperity formula she could find. Each month, she would sit down with her journal and ask the universe for just one thing. Let this be the month things finally shift. She kept her heart open. She took action. She celebrated other people's success, even as she was still waiting for her own. But deep down, she was tired. Tired of hoping, tired of holding the weight of belief with no evidence, tired of showing up with faith when her bank account screamed otherwise. Still, she pressed on. One night, while paying bills with shaky hands, she felt something break inside her. She didn't cry, she just went numb. She looked around her apartment and whispered, "I've done everything." Everything, they said. Why does it feel like something invisible is blocking me? She wasn't asking out of self-pity. She was asking from the depth of her soul. And in that moment, the real answer finally had space to rise. You don't need to try harder. You need to stop aligning with fear and start aligning with truth. The invisible wall you've been feeling isn't laziness or failure. It's easy to think that because things aren't flowing, it means you're blocked, or that you just need to do more. More meditations, more gratitude lists, more spiritual effort. But sometimes it's not about doing more, it's about being in the wrong frequency. You may be doing abundance rituals while unconsciously vibrating in worry, guilt, or unworthiness. You may be acting like you trust, but inside, you're bracing for things to go wrong again. And because the energy you carry speaks louder than the words you say, abundance hears your fear more clearly than your affirmations. That's not a spiritual punishment, it's an invitation. An invitation to move out of effort and into energetic alignment. The truth most people won't tell you. You don't attract wealth by earning it spiritually. You attract it by aligning with it energetically. That means releasing fear-based behaviors. Recognizing survival mode patterns, healing your relationship with receiving, and being willing to shift your internal vibration before you chase external results. The wall you've been feeling? It's not a barrier, it's a mirror. And the moment you stop managing abundance from fear, that wall disappears. And what felt far away begins to move toward you. The one thing to stop doing if you want to attract wealth. Here it is. The one thing that secretly pushes abundance away, even when you're trying to attract it. Stop managing money through fear, not through budgeting, not through discipline, not through wisdom, fear. Because fear disguised as being responsible or being realistic still vibrates as scarcity. And abundance doesn't respond to what you say with your mouth, it responds to what you're humming in your soul. What fear-driven energy really looks like. It looks like checking your bank account before you even brush your teeth, just to brace yourself for what might be missing. It looks like guilt after spending on something that brought you joy. It looks like hoarding coupons and just-in-case habits, not from wisdom, but from panic. It looks like undercharging in your business or not asking for the raise at work because deep down you think, if I ask for more, they'll say no. If I speak up, I'll lose everything. If I don't prove my worth, I'll be forgotten. These patterns aren't rooted in logic. They're rooted in old fear. Fear that came from being told you're too much when you had desires, or from seeing someone else get punished for having too little. Fear that says, you can't be safe and abundant, you have to choose one. And that lie has shaped how you treat money for years, maybe decades. Real story, the woman who couldn't let go. There was a woman who had built a modest savings account after years of living check to check. She was proud. She had finally created a sense of stability. But anytime she had an idea for her purpose, starting a healing business, taking a class, booking a trip she felt called to, she'd freeze. She'd say, now's not the time. What if something happens? What if I lose it all? She was financially stable, but spiritually she was still living in lack mode. She wasn't just holding on to her money, she was holding on to the belief that it would disappear if she breathed wrong. One night, during meditation, she heard, "You're trying to protect your money more than you're protecting your joy." That was the moment it all clicked, the shift between control and co-creation. Trying to control your finances from a place of fear is like locking the door and hoping opportunity slips through the crack. But financial alignment doesn't come through control. It comes through co-creation. And co-creation only happens when you feel safe enough to receive without gripping everything so tightly. It doesn't mean being reckless, it means being open. Open to intuitive nudges, open to inspired giving, open to the idea that you don't have to be in survival mode to be blessed. Because abundance is not a reward for being cautious. It's a natural response to energetic trust. Ask yourself this: when you think about your money, do you feel open or tight, excited or scared, empowered or dependent on external circumstances? Because the answer to that will tell you everything about what you're vibrating toward. And if that answer feels uncomfortable, don't run from it. It's not a judgment, it's an invitation to step out of protection mode and into reception mode. 5 fear-based habits that quietly repel abundance. You're spiritual, you're kind, you're doing your best to stay aligned. But here's the truth most won't say out loud. Even the most open-hearted, faith-filled people accidentally push abundance away. Not because they're greedy, not because they're selfish, but because they're managing their finances from fear in disguise. And that fear, it often looks responsible on the surface. It sounds like wisdom. It feels like control. But underneath, it's vibrating scarcity. And the universe listens to vibration more than your words. Let's take a deep breath and gently uncover the 5 most common fear-based habits that might be closing the door on your abundance without you even realizing it. Habit 1. Saving from panic, not peace. There's a huge difference between "I'm saving because I trust money will keep flowing to me" versus "I'm saving because I'm terrified I'll never get more." Saving from alignment feels light, empowered, even joyful. Saving from fear feels like hiding money under the mattress and flinching when the electric bill arrives. One flows, the other freezes, and frozen energy doesn't attract more. Habit 2. Saying yes when you really mean no. This one stings. It looks like giving your time when you're already depleted, offering discounts you didn't feel good about, taking on more responsibility because no one else will do it. You say yes, but your spirit is screaming no. And guess what? That self-betrayal whispers to the universe, "I don't believe my needs matter," which blocks the very support you've been trying to call in. True abundance doesn't come through people-pleasing. It comes through energetic honesty. Habit 3. Fearing how others will judge you for having more. Have you ever stopped yourself from dreaming too big because "my family will think I've changed. They'll say I'm selfish. What if people talk behind my back?" Deep down, a part of you believes, if I become too abundant, I'll lose love. So even if you say you want wealth, another part of you is blocking it to stay safe. But here's the sacred truth. Your abundance doesn't separate you from others. It blesses others when you're fully resourced. You give more, you serve more, you inspire more, and the people meant for your journey will celebrate that. Habit 4. Praying from desperation, not trust. You may think you're praying, but are you actually begging? There's a subtle energy difference between, "Please, I'm desperate, I'll do anything," versus, "I trust that what I need is already on its way." Desperation tells the universe, "I don't trust you'll show up, so I'll plead until I'm worthy." But you don't need to prove yourself to receive. You just need to remember that you were never disqualified to begin with. Habit 5, believing you need to fix yourself first. This might be the most dangerous one of all. It sounds like, "I'll attract more money when I feel more confident. I'll be ready when I've healed my trauma. Maybe I'm just not spiritual enough yet." You've made abundance a reward, something you earn once you're perfect. But divine wealth is not a trophy, it's a birthright. And the moment you believe you have to be flawless to receive, you delay your blessings for no reason. The shift begins with awareness. If any of these habits felt familiar, good. That means your soul is ready for truth. And the truth is, you don't need to work harder, you don't need to manifest louder, you don't need to hustle to fix yourself. You just need to stop aligning with fear and return to the frequency of trustworthiness and openness. Because when you do, abundance doesn't just trickle in, it rushes toward you. Not because you earned it, but because you finally stopped blocking it. What happens when you stop operating from fear? The moment you stop managing money from fear, you breathe differently. You sleep better. You speak more gently to yourself. You stop clenching your jaw every time an unexpected expense shows up. You stop vibrating from a place of survival and start operating from a place of spiritual sovereignty. A story, the shift she didn't see coming. There was a woman, kind, heart-centered, always giving. She had spent most of her life making just enough. Enough to get by, enough to survive, enough to make sure everyone else was okay. But there was never overflow, never space for ease, softness, or dreams that cost anything more than what felt reasonable. And she thought, maybe this is just what life is. Maybe I'm just meant to be careful. Then one evening, while folding towels after a long day, she felt a strange wave of emotion rise in her chest. Tears came, not from sadness, but from the realization, I've been managing crumbs and calling it peace. I've been guarding pennies while the universe has been trying to send me rivers. And in that moment, she whispered, I don't want to survive anymore. I want to receive. She didn't win the lottery the next day, but she noticed something else. She started setting boundaries with money. Opportunities began landing in her inbox out of nowhere. She felt calm, paying for what used to cause panic. She stopped apologizing for having desires. Because abundance doesn't always arrive as a windfall. Sometimes it arrives first as relief, what alignment feels like, so you know when it's happening. Alignment with abundance doesn't mean your bank account is always full. It means your energy is no longer fighting reality. You're not anxiously watching every dollar. You're not shrinking your dreams to fit someone else's comfort level. You're not telling yourself, one day, over and over until your heart breaks. Alignment looks like peace while checking your bank account, guilt-free joy when investing in your growth, taking inspired action and trusting the result, saying no without fear of missing out, knowing that overflow is your new normal, not because you hustled harder, but because you vibrated higher. Your nervous system will thank you. Your nervous system has probably been on high alert for years, constantly scanning for the next emergency, tensing every time money leaves your account, feeling like you're never fully safe. But when you shift from fear into flow, this is what begins to happen. Your shoulders relax, your breath deepens, you feel present in your body again. Your nervous system stops bracing for loss and starts opening to receive. You move from hypervigilance to spiritual rest, and that's where the magic unfolds. Abundance responds to safety, not stress. If you've been trying to call in abundance while living in fight or flight, you've been asking a river to flow through a clogged pipe. You don't need more motivation. You need more energetic openness. And once you create that openness, you become magnetic. Ideas begin flowing. The right people show up. You take bold action because it feels good, not because you're panicking. You stop chasing wealth, because now, wealth is drawn to you. How Archangel Sachiel helps you attract abundance from alignment. Now that you understand the power of shifting out of fear, the question becomes, how do you stay in that aligned space? How do you keep your energy open when the world keeps closing in? This is where divine help steps in, and one angel in particular has been waiting to assist you, Archangel Sachiel. Who is Archangel Sachiel? Sachiel is known as heaven's keeper of prosperity, but his gifts go far beyond money. He governs divine generosity, energetic elevation, and spiritual expansion. And his mission is this: to help you remember that wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you magnetize when you return to your true frequency, what it feels like when Sachiel is near. Most people expect abundance to come with fireworks or fanfare, but Sachiel doesn't scream, he elevates. His presence often brings a wave of lightness across your chest, an unexpected yes after a string of no's, a calm certainty that something good is on its way, sudden financial clarity as if a fog has lifted, a quiet voice that says, "Go ahead, you're safe to dream bigger now." You'll often feel generous when he's near, not just with money, but with love, time, and trust, because abundance flows through those who are open to give as freely as they receive. The role of divine alignment in prosperity. When Sachiel steps into your energy field, he doesn't just bring money, he lifts your vibration to match where abundance already lives. It's like tuning a radio. You've always been surrounded by divine wealth, divine ideas, divine support, but your channel got clouded by scarcity trauma, generational beliefs, fear of success, guilt around wanting more. Sachiel doesn't fix those for you. He lifts you above them so you can stop cycling in confusion and start moving in confidence. A story. When Sachiel whispered, "It's time." There was a woman who had been working at the same job for years, reliable, safe, stable, but soul-draining. She had a dream to start her own wellness business, but every time she thought about it, she heard that old voice. "You don't have the money, you're not ready, you'll lose everything." One day she asked, half joking, "If I'm really meant for more, send me a sign I can't ignore." That afternoon, while running errands, she passed a bus with a quote printed across it, "Your abundance is waiting, you just have to say yes." That night, she had a dream. A soft presence stood beside her in a field of gold light. He didn't speak aloud, but in her heart she heard, "The fear is loud because the breakthrough is close. Let me help you walk into the life you've already been blessed with." She woke up in tears, but they weren't sad, they were release, because something shifted. She felt safe to say yes. Within weeks, the right teacher showed up, resources appeared, and her path opened. That wasn't coincidence, that was Sachiel. You don't have to rise alone. You've carried so much, you've tried so hard. But now, you're not being asked to work harder. You're being asked to rise higher, with divine help. Sachiel is ready to lift the weight from your chest, open the gates of flow, and whisper the steps you couldn't hear when you were stuck in survival mode. And there's a sacred tool that's been created just for this. The divine support you've been waiting for. By now, your heart knows. You were never blocked because you were unworthy. You weren't stuck because you weren't trying hard enough. You were simply misaligned with your energy, with your receiving, with your support. But that alignment, it can be restored. And not just in moments of meditation or brief sparks of hope. Daily. And this is where the shift becomes lasting. Because there is a sacred path prepared just for you. A step-by-step process infused with divine wisdom and energetic clearing. A journey that helps you clear fear-based financial habits, reset your vibration to match divine wealth, reopen your intuitive channel to Archangel Sachiel's guidance, release survival mode and live from a state of receiving, attract aligned opportunities with grace and peace. And this path, it's not something you have to build on your own. It's already been created for you. Introducing your sacred realignment experience. There is a divine tool channeled through heavenly guidance that exists to lift you out of low-frequency states and into energetic harmony with abundance. This isn't another money mindset hack. It's not hustle in disguise. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you are, a soul already worthy, already supported, already aligned with more than enough. Inside this sacred journey, you'll be guided through powerful activations to clear energetic resistance, learn how to release inherited scarcity and past financial trauma, discover how to co-create wealth with divine support instead of fear, reprogram your energy field to receive without guilt or tension, anchor into Sachiel's vibration so you no longer try to manifest, you become a vessel for it. It's not just transformation, it's liberation. A new way forward begins right here. You don't need another lecture about budgeting. You don't need another workshop on how to push through. You need something sacred, something that gets you, something that says, let's stop struggling, let's stop doubting, let's open the flow that's always been yours. This is your moment to step into that flow. No more waiting, no more wondering, no more shrinking, just trust, just support, just divine alignment. If your soul is whispering yes right now, don't talk yourself out of this. This isn't just a product. This is your sacred realignment. Click here now to begin your celestial wealth and prosperity experience. This is where the resistance ends. This is where your receiving begins. And this is where you rise into the abundance you were always meant for. Before you go, leave a comment and declare, I'm ready to receive in divine alignment. Let that be your spiritual contract with heaven. Because once you say yes from the soul, Sachiel starts moving on your behalf and the universe will rise to meet you.